All right, folks, we're back. We were definitely not talking about inappropriate things during the break. And getting into the first of two semifinals. If you're new to the Corsair Cup, if you haven't watched this tournament before, first off, it is sponsored by a combination of Corsair as well as Twitch. Thanks to them, this is made possible. If you want to support either of our sponsors, check out the Corsair links down below for the affiliate stuff. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to support us through Twitch. And hell, bits fucking work too. And let's not forget, we have custom cheers. So don't, if you're planning to cheer in chat today, don't just cheer like a schmuck. Don't just type cheer one. Do the BaseTradeTV cheers. Actually, what we specifically set up, and if you guys didn't see this, is we made the 1-bit cheer. So this is the equivalent of using 1 cent in chat. We've set those to the GG emotes. And what I'm really hoping is we can eventually get this thing where a big epic game finishes, and it's like a really good game, and everyone's spamming GGs in chat, but like our people are cheering with the GGs, so you get like the little animated pulsing, golden, flashing GGs. I think the dream is to see like a full chat of those one day. Would look really cool.
Yeah, it's the dream. We're starting Elazer versus aLive, though.
Yes. So again, brand new best of 3. We cast both of the semifinals in the Corsair Cup, is what I was getting at before. So both this and whoever Snoot fights afterwards, and then the grand final. So if you're just joining us on stream now, you're in store for 2 best of 3s and a best of 5. Get ready to enjoy some StarCraft. In the top left, we have the blue Terran player aLive.
In the bottom right is the green Zerg. He is aLazer.
The camera broke, so one sec, guys. Should fix it. There we go. aLazer, for a time, was on a huge upswing in Europe. Like, this guy was seriously cream of the crop. He's still pretty good at ZvZ, and a lot of players like actually fear playing him, but I don't know where he's sitting in TVZ right now. There's that, of course, big commotion he caused over Nation Wars, the Ravagers, was that Innovation he was fighting in that finals? Like,
yeah.
aLazer has seen his share of badass matchups and really important matchups in being finals and otherwise. But I feel like we really, at least we on BaseTradeTV through Corsair Cups and otherwise, haven't seen him much lately.
For sure. aLazer's always been a bit of a mystery to me anyways. Like, very highly distinguished Zerg, very good Zerg on Europe, and that means something, because Europe is like all Zerg. Got to BlizzCon so far in BlizzCon too. But it really is like, I think even for him it was a bit of a surprise each time that he did that, because I don't even think he was full-time. There's something about that, right? Like, there's something that he recently...
about that, I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he wasn't full-time for X reason or another until after BlizzCon, at least, but, you know, maybe even, like, only a month ago, or something like that. Point is, it's surprising to him to get, like, those super, super distinguished results, because in the online cups, like, sure, he'll win 1 or 2 and definitely get in the top 4, but it's not like, this is, you know, amazing god-tier Zerg. It was like, no, it's a really, really good Zerg. Totally. But, does he beat aLive when aLive's looking so good lately? I don't know about that.
Speaking of aLive, by the way, his GSL group, I think it's going to be fantastic for him. If you guys didn't see, they did, like, the drawing, and, like, I think it's the first time
is he in the... Which group is he in?
He's in the 3 Terrans and Classic
group.
Okay,
yeah. That picture, that was a really good Reddit post, I think.
Yeah, it was, like, a pretty good meme.
I didn't notice the difference either at first, and I felt really bad. I was like, between 2 pictures. That's pretty good.
Yeah, aLive's going to have a very interesting GSL round of 16. There's no question about that.
Yeah, just all the Terrans killing each other off. They did a nice thing. Poor Classic.
That's the type of seeding we like blame Oli Moly for.
She actually hacked into the GSL.
She hacked into their minds, dude, because they had to pick each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. The hacking job she did on Twitch, there was nothing. That was a practice run. When she hacked everybody's accounts, oh my god. Ace OMG, guys. It's all clear to me now.
Yeah. Yeah, Classic really deserves that, too, because he betrayed the Terran race. He was Terran in Brood War. He was Terran, I think, for the first couple of months he was playing StarCraft 2 as well, and decided to switch.
I feel like... Okay, it's not really betrayal. It's that long ago.
I know, it's really not. And between 2 different games, like, no one really says that's a betrayal. And Girl used to be Zerg. Artosis was Terran. Tasis is still Protoss, though. Like, that's the same. Anyways, I am looking for... I thought that was really funny. I don't watch the group section anymore, just because it's on such a, you know, obnoxious time, and I don't watch Korean StarCraft odds like I used to.
They had a really good translator for it, actually. So
I heard, so I kind of wanted to check it out because I heard the translator was very good. But maybe later. So for this game, it is 2-1-1 versus just a macro build, obviously from Elazer. He is getting the earlier evolution chamber, but this never affects the first attack, only the second and the third. So we're just really waiting for aLive's medevacs to come out.
I think part of this too is like Elazer. He's gonna have a lot of queens, hopefully, ideally. So you can have this couple extra for creep spread, but how many extra he has could determine how well he does with his drop. Because it is worth noting that 2-1-1s, I think, are first off not nearly as popular as they used to be, but also not the assumed go-to anymore.
Right.
In fact, especially with aLive, I would imagine a Widowmine drop comes out of him above anything else.
You know, like the Hellion openers. I think that's like almost, it's a funny dynamic, but it's a reason why 2-1-1s would come back. There was a very anti-2-1-1 period from both Zergs and Terran, where Zergs said, it's easy, I know what they're doing, and Terran said the Zergs know what we're doing, so we're going to stop. So they started doing a lot of factory builds. But now that you do that, there's actually a variety. It's not just literally, I know they're doing a 2-1-1, like you can go back to at least putting the 2-1-1 in occasionally. Plus, there's so many variations of 2-1-1 that it shouldn't ever be as easy peasy as maybe it was for like a month. And to be honest, even at that point in time, Beyond was still 2-1-1ing and killing Zergs with the first push. So, was it ever really a bad build? Question marks everywhere. You definitely got to be conservative with your first push. So just clearing up the creep, it does nothing. There's so many queens, but I feel good about it.
It does nothing. Well, either way, cleanup creep's still going to be beneficial, regardless of how futile it feels. Moving too much here and there. Actually, he's going to get a lot with that one scan. That was a very, very nice scan.
And again, pretty conservative, just backs off. He's getting a third CC, 1-1. He is doing, of course, the macro follow-up, which is most common. And Elazer is going to have +1 Carapace if there was a follow-up medevac drop of Marines coming in here. It's not in any of a hurry, anyways.
Oh, my God. Holy moly just hacked a resub. I've never seen that before. That's new.
Oh, God.
32 months! That's an old-ass account! Holy guacamole. Thank you, Acid Bean. Alright, well, right now it's been a pretty, let's say, futile start for aLive. He's been training out tumors, and queens have had no problem putting them back down. Without any dedication to an attack, though, the queens haven't had necessity to save up energy for transfuses. So, put the tumors down, really, this is just status quo period.
Yeah. If at any point there was an opportunity, there was an opening, a very, very clear opening, I mean, aLive might have taken it, but it is usually a much better game plan to just scare the Zerg. This isn't doing anything, but at the same time, it's doing something. It's keeping Elazer on edge. Obviously, he needs to make at least a couple of banelings in case there was that committed attack, and I mean, actually, Elazer doing a nice job defending this, or delaying it rather. But yeah, his fourth base might have been like even seconds later because he was worried about the stim in. The creep spread on Ascension to Ire is kind of difficult, I think, kind of feel for the Zergs, as there are the two main pathways that you're not sure which one they're going to choose to go for. So it's not really that impressive of creep spread just because there's so much to get through to all of your bases before you really start to think about the middle of the map. That is a very large army, and the Lings and Banelings are out of position.
Ooh, almost gets the queens. Nice transfuses out of Elazer, but the problem is... Oh, there's some bits coming in. Problem is, though,
Jesus.
full surround goes off, picks up in the medevac, gets out of there alive, and a nice Widowmine shot takes out a lot of the Lings.
Yeah, you had to pick that up. The main is almost never a very safe place to drop anyways, so I feel this was mostly a fake, and he just drops in a very safe location.
Aberos, if we turn the resub on for the Bit Boss, we just can't do that, dude. I know you want to do some sort of big, crazy wombo combo, but I have to restart everything to do that.
Womp womp.
Also, what are you doing normal bits for, man? Use the dagger.
Yeah, guys. Please.
Got new cheer modes. Use them.
+2 Carapace is almost done, whereas aLive has only just started his 2-2.
That could be a big problem.
It's still, even upgrades, I guess, with 1-1.
And he's getting a little bit far off a creep, but the Banelings are still getting okay connects. I mean, it's 1 or 2 at a time, but they're getting the job done. Queen's all still standing means more tumors and ability to snipe off those medevacs.
Muta's about to be on the way out. Elazer has managed to hold with an okay amount of creep spread. Again, his creep spread is not reaching out in the middle of the map, but it is at least connecting his bases with a little bit of forewarning. if aLive has a sim in somewhere.
Amelia's
the mutas. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't feel bad, man. Sorry we missed your reach shout out in chat, but here you go. 15 months, big love. Thanks for coming back.
We missed a few. They get a war buff too from all 3 some. I demand a Partouf. Well, then message BaseTradeTV. Okay, so I was talking about the mutas. Since Elazer, I think, might feel like pretty safe, he might be able to use the mutas offensively, and in fact, it looks like they are going that direction. His creep spread is getting suspiciously pushed back. It's like a little concerning. But it's such a hard reinforcement point for aLive. Like, he really is the farthest away from his natural he could be.
What I find really interesting is the way he's using these little alcoves on the low ground, that he doesn't have to bring his whole army up, and there's no way for Elazer to connect to those.
Looks like aLive is paying attention to his army, but he's... in doing so, he's not paying attention to his SCVs, and he did not build missile turrets. The assumption usually is that mutas have to be on the front lines first, not just immediately go into counterattack, and that loses aLive so many SCVs.
Takes out the Widow Mines, pushes off a lot of the Marines. These ones in that little choke. Like, this choke is so abusive at a Terran. I need to make note of this. That was so cool to watch happen.
Yeah, right? They get stuck if it doesn't work out, but if it snipes them a couple extra banelings, then that's pretty damn good. But aLive at this point in time, especially since he already threw down his production and just lost 16 SCVs, I don't think he can really afford to go into a more of a macro game. 4 bases, defensive, all that jazz. So this puts him in a very difficult position. Elazer's already on his way to Hive, and now taking control of the map.
It's not just that he's on his way to Hive, though. Through all of this poke and harass out, like, aLive never actually hurt the economy. So he's sitting on 75 drones, 4 bases. Elazer is in a fantastic position to make that transition, as long as he doesn't get complacent, because he still has to fight a pretty big army.
He certainly does. Almost even army supply. Elazer a little bit up in that army supply. There's not a lot of splash in aLive's army either. He just, I guess, gave up on his factory production or just kept missing it. Not sure which one. But that means that it really is just the bio splits, and that can only do so much.
Well, just like the Bit Boss getting stabbed with daggers, these banelings push through that line, but you pushed back. However, the counterattack is going to kill the command center, and aLive's just going to tap out. GG.
You get a Hero Marine for the big host. And Admiral Awesome. And Bacon Hero. For the Dagger folks, exactly.
Hi, Hero Marine and all your viewers. How you guys doing? Hope you enjoyed that Terran stream. Got a little bit of Terran here for you, too.
Yeah. I'm very interested in watching TVZ on these new maps. When I looked at them when they were announced, I didn't think much of them. Except that I didn't like them. But I didn't think of anything more, I suppose. I was holding off on my critiques and judgment, but having played them and watching some of the Terrans try and make their way across such big, large open areas, because Ascension to Ire and Odyssey are both that similar way. It's difficult to apply pressure.
I really liked the way he was using that little alcove. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, that was the best part about it. But and it's kind of like maybe for aLive a little disheartening as well, because there wasn't a lot of creep spread. Like, there was a couple of moments where it looked like that lack of creep spread would have been, like, in other cases, a real push opportunity, but it never really was. You never truly pushed it anywhere. So the next map's Abyssal, and that makes a lot of sense. That's kind of why I brought it up, too. Not just that you know this map and it's very familiar, but I think it also just provides better options.
Yo, there's a new Alien movie?
There is. It's coming out in, this Friday, isn't it?
Alien Covenant. I think it's out today.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too enthusiastic about Prometheus, so I don't know.
Oh, just a friend asked me to go while we've been on break. I don't know, I'm kind of interested. I like Michael Fassbender a lot. I don't know what it is. Him and Mark Strong, I feel like I would watch in anything.
It's okay. Thank you to Sirako SC for the 9-month resub.
Yo, did you hear about this whole Pirates of the Caribbean hack thing?
Yes, I did. That's
really interesting to me. That's actually really, really interesting to me.
Did you hear about the DC Metro hack?
No, what happened with that?
Someone hacked into the, there's the display boards that display the times, incoming train, 5 minutes, whatever. Yeah. Someone hacked into it and put porn on.
Awesome.
I know, right? So it lasts like 15 minutes before they took it all down.
Saves me on my bandwidth. Won't have to download it.
Just go to the metro.
Actually, that's a story from DreamHack. I should probably embarrass myself with at some point. Alright, guys, we're getting into game number 2. In the bottom right, we've got the blue Terran player aLive.
In the top left is the green Zerg with a pool first. It is Elazer.
Alright, and Admiral Awesome, if you're still listening, dude, I know you want to do this at the end of stream. I'll restart the Pit Boss Battles thing, and we'll throw up. You can do your big stupid wombo combo there if you'd like. Daleks85, thank you for the 3-month resub. Glad to have you back on board, though, especially as we get into this second game. Now, keep in mind, for those who don't follow this, again, it's a ZvZ on the other side of the brackets. Exclamation mark brackets in chat will link you to the brackets, and you can see very clearly it's Snoot versus Bly. So there's maybe a ZvZ finish if Elazer can play like he did in that last game and defend as well as he did.
Well, Admiral Awesome resubs.
Got wrecked by the stream delay. 3
Yeah.
years, 36. Wow, dude, Aaron, 3 years. My man. Hashtag Black Sasha. I'm glad to have you back, and you've stuck with us through all this time.
I'm still so happy that so many people don't know what that is. Both happy and sad they're going to hear Black Sasha and report us or something.
Well, I don't
A
feel
mixture of
like...
emotions.
Okay, so first off, if you're referring to this in like some sort of racial tone, yeah, that sounds a little bit offensive. I think if you just say like Black Sasha, that sounds like a code. Like Red Tomahawk doesn't have to be
Like Deep
racist.
Throat. Doesn't have to be a porn movie. You know what Deep Throat is, right?
No, what's that?
I'm gonna assume you do know.
Is that a code or
It is a code,
for what?
but it's also a movie.
Is it a
the
really long
informant
code?
Of the Nixon impeachment.
Is it a really long code?
Whatever. This is pretty important. I did mention that he was going to go pool first, and he went for more than just 2 lings. Like 6 lings not only, of course, brings back the Reaper, but also makes it very scary for the Terran to finish the command center.
Right, this
They
actually
don't know
almost
if
killed the
speed
CC.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, another side effect. But I was going to say, they don't know if speed is finishing up or not. It isn't. And I guess the Reaper did see the natural. Well, there's still be a natural even if there was speed. Point is, it wasn't finishing up, and that's good, but he still took a lot of damage from those SCVs.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because not only did he lose them, like, dead, rip, rest in pepperonis, it's also a matter of just simply having had to pull them in the first place. Wait, is the
Yeah,
infograph
exactly.
working? Yeah, there we go. You see the moment he pulled them, too.
One of them has to repair right now. The orbital's away. You don't have the minerals. It does definitely affect you. This is like the very... I mean, your build is pretty, like, clean and cut at this point in time. Really dependent on minerals here and there. So it just really hurt when that happens. Of course, he sees the 3rd hatchery and then it's already done. I mean, this may or may not tell him. I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, if speed is done or not, that he can get away with a little bit more aggression. He still sees that the Zerglings are slow, but does he really know that speed literally just started? I don't think so. But he is setting a medevac out, at least to try and do something to make up for all that attack did. 4 SCVs and all that mining time lost.
I'm having a brain fart. This is only game 2, right?
Correct, and aLive lost.
Okay, Juvia Loxer. Is somebody trustworthy? That's why it had me going like, wait a minute, did I goof?
Nah, crazy.
Alright, this drop's actually kind of crazy. The woodline
This is-
positioning here is fantastic, so there's no real easy way to get on top of this. If he runs in with lings, they're going to get killed. If drones get pulled, it'll go badly. And... oh, okay. If he retarget
Yes.
fired, he would have killed the queen.
Yeah. Queens do take care of a lot of things in the early game. So even if aLive was so bold as to send out a group of unsimmed Marines, then yeah, the Queens would have been able to take care of it. It's a little panic attack. He did make 12 lings, recognizing that there might be some danger in the future. And they're going to have speed, finally. But aLive is behind on his build. He's behind on production, 3rd CC, engineering bays, and stim and combat shield upgrades. Whereas Elazer has really already recovered from what was only just an early... like a pool first, not even early pool, like a pool first, and 6 lings.
Matter of fact, it's a little bit low for comfort, but looks like it'll barely get out of there. Nope, going back because he's crazy. Gonna find a couple more drone kills through this.
Is starting to deal some significant damage now. 5 drones was like was such a big deal, but if he gets up to like 10, it's getting close. And you know, for sure, it's not gonna be the Mutas out.
He's gonna lose 2 overlords on their side of the map too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that other one didn't. Yeah, that's weird. This one's scouting makes sense. This one seems a little odd.
Alright, well the medevac continues to dance around. Probably best to go home and repair. Either way, pretty good damage out of aLive. Especially you compare it to that last game. Like, I'm not sure what really happened in game 1 that was so magical for Elazer, but like, aLive only did creep spread damage, and that was it for the longest time. And even when he went over this full bore attack and it looked good, it still wasn't enough. This time, the fact that he was able to actually harass Elazer, maybe knock him down a peg, sure, he's not so freely getting to 4 bases and 75 drones, but he's still getting to 4 bases and 75 drones.
Yeah. There's still going to be a very long period of time where Elazer can hold only with Lings and Queens. Like, I don't think he'll need Banelings for the first attack, just like if it was a normal 2-on-1. And I think this is a little bit easier of a map to creep spread than Ascension at Ire. So whereas that was the best thing about the last game, is that it was constrained to just the bases and not really going anywhere out farther, it still didn't help, or it still didn't hurt Elazer enough to help aLive. Now this is 3 medevacs, not completely full, but just a little bit extra. So maybe the lack of Banelings could hurt Elazer here. He has a lot of Lings. His Queens, I think, were doing other things. Oh no, they're here.
Deep
aLive's being very cautious. That's not right. You can't say that. You can't use it as a verb, because then it becomes PG-13.
Something comes. Okay, anyways, we do have the army clean up enough creep that he's happy to walk away from this. He's missed a couple of important tumors, though, so unfortunately, it's not like lasting damage, even to the creep spread. In fact, this was kind of a bad attack for aLive.
Oh. He's going for Hydras. Okay. Right. This isn't too shocking, as some people have been going for Hydras, right? But it is still always, when I see it, just kind of like a, huh? Huh?
Hydras are really frustrating to play against nowadays, I think. And I actually like this composition if you can get enough of them up quick enough, but it is an awkward transition. Not quite like Ultras, where you're left incredibly vulnerable, but early engagements like this can really favor aLive if he hits just the right way. However, I don't know that his army supply is good enough to take this on.
Yeah, I wonder too. Like, I think you would want tanks against Hydras, not Widow Mines. Widow Mines obviously deal with the Lings and Banelings still as well as they did before, but I don't think it helps against the Hydras that much. So it is like truly a surprise to see the Hydras when you see Baneling for so long that you're kind of assuming either an Infestation Pit or a Spire. But the Hydras are still anti-air. They'll
it's a
rip
fidget
armies
spinner.
to shreds.
Sorry, the Widow Mine died in a
fidget
stuck. Spinnery way.
The shark is stuck. Okay.
So we did have an attack on this side, but it was completely shut down by this wall. So great wall from aLive. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, he almost had a great wall in the last game too. He's missing that one supply depot. He's been loving his great walls lately. That could still be a brutal counterattack. Elazer is waiting to see the army at the front, which he does now. There's not too much creep spread here, so securing that 5th base might be the most problematic part of Elazer's game. But I think his army's good enough. As long as he doesn't let himself get absolutely trapped with his Widow Mines.
Well, this goes on. A bus goes through the wall. So last time nothing went down, but every single SCV died. 18 workers picked clean from that base.
Damn.
Even had a Baneling left over.
Strong. Elazer is looking super strong. I mean, aLive is playing very cautious. Probably more cautious than he usually does. And that, I think, is absolutely affecting the series. Last game, as I said, it could maybe be explained just by the map and, you know, just the way they wanted to play. But this game, to do it as well and yet still get hit by Banelings and Ling counterattacks, yeah, aLive's not playing to his fullest potential, whereas it looks like aLive kind of is, or Elazer kind of is.
Yeah. Topside's got a really good attack, but the Banelings managed to catch a lot of clumped up Marines.
Oh, Jesus.
That's game.
That's gone.
That's too much. GG.
Oh, boy.
Well, today's full of 2 zeros. Jesus. That means Elazer will advance on to the grand finals, and we will have a guaranteed ZvZ into another guaranteed ZvZ. But here's what's really interesting. Look at the dynamic here. Elazer, for however good or bad he does versus other players, he always seems to do amazingly versus Snoot. So if Snoot beats Bly, maybe this won't be such a close finals. But I don't know how Bly and Elazer square off. So if Bly beats Snoot, then maybe this will be a really crazy finals.
It's gonna get crazy.
Either way, thank you, Hardy Marty, for the 33-month resub. Glad to have you back on board, friend. We're going to go to a commercial break while we set up the other series. We'll be just a moment. We'll see you guys soon.